Good morning, YouTube. I haven't seen you in such a long time. I hope you're doing well. I had to step away for a little while, but I'm happy to be back with you guys, and I thought today would be a wonderful day to vlog because my AP kids are doing something really fun today, and I thought I would share some of the fun things that I'm doing and the things that I have planned for my kids. So it's just gonna be a vlog. I'm gonna take you along with me. Today, what I have set up for the AP kids are some tie-dyeing stuff, so we're gonna be tie-dyeing t-shirts. It has been a long time since I've tie-dyed. I wanna say the last time I tie-dyed was probably back close to like 2019. Maybe closer to 2018. I don't remember, but it's been a long time. And it was mostly because the students didn't really seem like interested in doing it, but this group of students really wanted to, and I was like, okay, let's do it. I just purchased one of the tie-dye kits from Flynn, so that makes it really easy because all the dye is like pre-measured and I've got the urea. But for right now, I have to get ready for my honors classes because we're still full steam ahead in honors. We end close to June 19th, so we've got still quite a bit of time to go. We are finishing up our unit on equilibrium. This is a very challenging unit for the students, especially if they don't have a strong mathematical background. It's been okay though. I've mixed in a lot of formative assessments, so I feel like my students have done so much better as a result. So what I have to do today is I have to go and copy what I call a Throwback Thursday, which is basically helping the students review for the final exam using a do now. It's just like a half sheet. So today I think we're talking about trends, making sure they're good with that, and then they'll be moving into their assessment review because their last test is tomorrow. I can't believe it. And then after that, we do have one more little thing to talk about with acids and bases, and that won't be formally like assessed, unfortunately. We just don't have time. So that'll be assessed though on the final exam. So that is kind of the deal with things. We're really winding down. Final exams start next Friday. I can't believe it. So I've got a lot of stuff to do today. I'm taking you guys along for the ride with me. I can't wait to show you everything that I'm doing. I thought I would just show you what the Throwback Thursday kind of do-nows look like. So this is today's. So they'll be looking at ionization energy, and we'll review, the factors that affect attraction. So essentially Coulomb's law. And then we'll be looking at this data and trying to explain how many valence electrons this particular element has. I would say this type of do-now or any kind of do-now that's a Throwback Thursday, usually what I do is I just set a timer and I ask the students to come up and write their answers on the board so that we can discuss them, because in my mind, I've already taught this and I kind of feel like they need some time to, obviously review it. So I encourage them to use activities and formatives and even their table mates to help them. And then I kind of just wait for them to come up and write their stuff on the board, and then we discuss it. In a perfect world, I would be doing task cards today, but I just didn't have time to make them. So unfortunately, they're going to just have to settle for an assessment review. So every assessment review looks really similar in that I provide the student expectations, vocabulary, the references that they'll be allowed to use, and then the types of questions. I encourage them to look at all of these things that we've done over the course of the unit, right? Not just to, work on the assessment review. I don't like calling things study guides because obviously then they think, oh, this is all you need to study. And I don't really think that's an accurate depiction of what they're going to see in higher education. So it's my goal to obviously prepare them for that. So that's why I always kind of have this little note here. These are the things that you should make sure that you study as well. So we've got some Le Chatelier. And then on the back, it looks like they're calculating some equilibrium concentrations, deciding the direction of shift, right? Deciding whether or not a precipitate forms. So there's some really good questions on here, and this is going to review everything from our unit. So I'm sure they're going to do very well in this. And then while they're working, it's kind of like in-class extra help. I'll be walking around helping them. I did post the answer key to this so they can check their answers as they work. And then that will be the end of that. So right now I have to run and go to my duty, but I will be sure to check in with you guys a little bit later. I'm going to invite you guys to come up and remind us how to do this. Think about the factors that affect attraction. Of course, remember what ionization energy is. Looking good. I need 2 more chemists. Who's going to be? Okay. Ready to talk? Do you agree with all the answers? Okay.
I just finished up with my period 2 class, and it was a little bit of a longer class period. I was doing a lot more talking than I'm used to doing. Usually I think a lot of times when we're reviewing, the students are working on the review packet, I'm helping students individually, but because I decided to do the Throwback Thursday do now, and then I also decided to go over the solubility homework from last night, that took a little bit more time than expected, but one of the ways that I try to make up for that is by obviously posting the answer key to the assessment review so the students can work on it. I did remind them that there is extra help today after school, so we'll see if they show up. But now I really need to focus and I need to get ready for tie-dyeing with my AP kids. So I'm gonna take you around the room, show you how I set everything up to hopefully avoid some of the mess that's about to ensue. On the center island, I have placed all of these gloves. The students are going to be wearing gloves in order to do their tie-dye. I do have a student that very kindly volunteered to bring in large storage bags to put their shirts in when they're doing the tie-dye. And then, of course, we need rubber bands. My students are going to have to learn a little bit about the chemistry of tie-dye because, right, why are we doing this if they're not going to learn any chemistry? So one of the things that I decided to do was an escape room, which I'll show you what that looks like too. And then I obviously got some prizes. So I got some prizes for the kids. You know, I just went to the dollar store and picked out some prizes for them. So if they win, they can help themselves to a prize. Over here, I've got 4 bottles. I have them actually at all of the stations. So I've got one over there, one over here, and then I have one over there. And so with these bottles, basically I made the dye in a larger set of bottles. You can probably see them over there. And now what I have is I put all the caps on them because the students are going to have to shake them up when they start tie-dyeing. They're going to tie-dye over the sink because if you have your students tie-dye on the lab benches, it is going to make a big old mess. So they're going to be instructed that we can have 2 students work at a time on their tie-dyeing designs. You can have one student stand on one side and then the other student stand on the other, and they have to apply their dye entirely at the sink. So that's going to be fun, but I think that because the class isn't super overcrowded, that shouldn't be an issue. But that is the number one tip, is if you have sinks that your students can use to tie-dye with, have them tie-dye over the sink. That'll make it so much easier to clean up. And then the black surfaces are going to be for the students to create their design. So I'm going to talk to them a little bit about the designs that they can make. And then you do need to soak the shirts in soda ash solution. So I think this sink is probably the cleanest sink out of all of them. So I'm going to create I'm basically going to cap the sink drain and create a solution in here of the soda ash so that the students can all basically just soak all their shirts in here. So one of the other things that I do is when the kids come and they get their shirts, I have a whole stack of them over here, I do have them use a Sharpie. And then what I have them do is I have them label their shirt with their Sharpie marker, just have them put like, I don't know, like a little like thing on the back, maybe with their initials on it. This is the kit that I was talking about earlier from Flynn. And you can do, I would say, you could probably do, I don't know, like at least I would say 4 classes worth, like probably close to, I don't know, if 4 classes worth would be around 100 students, probably 75 to 100 t-shirts you could probably do with this kit. So if you're thinking about doing this, I definitely would check this out. And then I use this and some other inspiration to talk about the chemistry of the tie-dye. So let me show you the escape room that I created for them too. To create the escape room, one of the things that I do is I create everything in a Google form. So I post everything in a Google form, all their different clues, and then I embed it right into my website. So this is my Google site, and I tried to make it kind of fun in that basically it's like a tie-dye fail, like all the things that you could do wrong when it comes to tie-dyeing. So here are all the different clues. I have to actually add a couple more today, but the idea is when the kids look at it here, let me show you what it looks like when it's published. So this is what it looks like when it's published. So you can see they've got all the different clues on the right-hand side. They're all Instagram posts. And then on the left-hand side, they have the Google form, so they can go through and they can answer all of the questions that go along with each clue. So I have to add a few more, and in order to do this, obviously, I need to access the Instagram account, so I can't be using my phone and talking to you at the same time. So I'm gonna have to check in with you and show you the finished product in a little bit.
Okay, I'm all finished. So this is the escape room and I'm very excited. I think they're gonna really be very engaged with it. I think it looks great. I added a couple new clues down at the bottom. They are AP students, so I wanted to give them a little bit of a challenge. And then the Google form is set up to be like almost kind of like a autocorrect type of thing. It'll tell them whether or not they did it correctly and it won't let them move on or submit until they finish everything. But there are a total of 8 clues. And then if you kind of zoom in here, I tried to basically make it kind of like a fail type of situation. So I added this one about the pH, and then I added this one about light being reflected. So I'm very happy. I think the kids are going to really enjoy it and be very engaged with this.
I thought I would just catch up with you while I take one of the games. So you're probably like, why does she have a Monopoly game? I took that out of my bag this morning because my AP kids, they like to play games during, especially our lab periods, because we have a lot of time. And this is something that I actually learned from somebody I worked with who was also another AP teacher in my old district. So she like brought in a whole bunch of games for the kids, and I try to buy like one game a year, like one new game for a year, and I'm definitely getting a little crowded with all my games. So I bought Monopoly this year. I kind of asked the kids like what game they would want to play. So I bought Monopoly, but I bought these containers, which I will show you what they look like after I finish cutting this. Okay, I'm back. So I bought these containers, like a million things on my desk, which I love because the games could fit so nicely in here, but obviously you won't, I mean, you could tell what it is because it says Monopoly on the front, but what I've been doing is taking the covers from the boxes and like sliding it in. Oh yeah, it's perfect actually. And like putting it in like that. So I'm gonna tape it in place, and it just takes up a lot less space in my cabinets because I'm definitely running out of space. So I'm gonna go tape that in real quick. Perfect. Now everything fits right in here, and I just shove it right on my shelf, and I've got a, like, what is this, my 5th one that I've organized into this. So it's really perfect, and the kids just grab it. They can throw everything back into the box, and it's just an easy way to keep me organized and not take up so many spaces in my cabinets. At this point, I think I'm going to go grab some lunch. Sorry about that. I just had to put my paper cutter away. I'm going to go grab some lunch, and I guess I'll check in with you guys and maybe do a little B-roll to kind of show you what they're doing. These are the time, the time of the year that it's just a lot of fun to be a teacher and like spend time with your kids and enjoy them, because then they're gone and then there's a new set, to work with. So this is definitely a big celebration. So yeah, so I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. There's one more thing that I have to do. I have about 13 minutes to do it. And it's because tomorrow my students are going to be making ice cream in the other class. So the way the lab periods kind of fell, I had no choice to do tie-dye one day and then ice cream on the other. So it's going to be a crazy day. But one of the things that I wanted to do, because we're actually going to have the AP Bio class come in as well and have like a little celebration with all of our classes. So I talked to the AP Bio teacher and the kids seemed really excited. I had a number of them last year actually in AP Chem. So they're going to come in, and I wanted to make it a really warm and inviting environment, and then obviously make it a little celebration. So the other thing that I bought, I went to Dollar Tree last night and I bought some balloons. And then I bought these like balloon towers. So what I want to do is I want to blow up some balloons and get those balloon towers ready to go so that I can just simply take them and put them out tomorrow. So I'm going to probably try to make it my goal to at least blow up, I don't know, I could probably blow up about half of them right now. So watch me go.
There's always a theme with an escape room, and the theme for this escape room is tie-dye fail. So these are all the things that you can do wrong to your tie-dye t-shirt. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna share this web page, and what you'll see on the right-hand side are all the clues, and on the left-hand side is where you're gonna type in your answers. I'm so excited. Okay, all right, let me share this with you guys.
It is the end of the day. I am exhausted. It is about 4 o'clock. My students had a wonderful time tie-dyeing. Their shirts look so good. I am psyched to see what they look like tomorrow. I will tell you though, wow, it is a lot of work to clean up all the tie-dye and then make sure I'm ready for tomorrow, because tomorrow we're making ice cream. So my period 7, 8, and then into 9th period, and then some of the kids in my period 10 wanted to do some tie-dyeing. So I, got them all situated, got their tie-dye. All their stuff is sitting in bags in the back of my classroom. I even tie-dyed my lab coat, which I've never done before, but I figured I might as well, because whenever I make the dye, I always get dye on my lab coat, and so it's not sparkly white anymore. So I figured, let me tie-dye my lab coat, so we'll see what that comes out like tomorrow. So now everything's sitting in the back. Tomorrow when they come in, I'll probably ask them to rinse it out, because I want to see what their shirts look like. And then what I'll do is I'll take their shirts home, I'll wash them and then dry them, and then I'll bring them back in, and then we're going to attach our logo to it. So the kids all design logos, and then I designed a logo. They didn't pick mine. We did vote on them. They didn't pick mine, but that's okay. I still think mine is pretty cool. Maybe next year. But we're gonna, basically, I'm gonna use my Cricut to get it all cut out, and then I'll come in and ask for their assistance with weeding and then doing the heat press to put it on the shirt. So it should be a really nice keepsake from our class. They had so much fun today, and I think that these memories are just going to stick with them for a lifetime. So right now, I'm going to get out of here, but I will check in with you guys tomorrow to show you all about the ice cream festivities. Well, good morning, YouTube, and happy Friday. Today's the big day, our ice cream celebration. I'm in early to finish blowing up the balloons and grab the cooler and just basically set up the room. My honors chemistry students have their last exam today, so I gotta get ready for that. So I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Well, are you ready for the craziness to ensue? It's almost that time. I just finished up with my period 2 class. They took their equilibrium assessment. So I have a little bit more grading than I want to do because now at this point I really just need to get ready for the ice cream stuff. Today I'm going to do an ice cream escape room. So this is a completely different class. So I wanted them both to have the experience and teach them a little bit about the chemistry of ice cream. So what I'm doing right now is I'm working on that. And then when I'm all finished, I will show you what it looks like. Okay, here is the escape room. So this is the second one. I did have to make some modifications, but I didn't have to make as many as I did yesterday to the one with the tie-dye. So again, same kind of setup. Got the left-hand side, that's the food chemistry Google form. And then I've got all the clues again with my escape room account on Instagram. So I have all the clues embedded in here, and then they have to just type in whatever they're prompted to on the left-hand side. As far as how I implement this in the classroom, I have my students get into teams of 2 to 3. They spread out around the classroom so they can't hear each other talk. And basically there's one person with a Chromebook, and that person is responsible for inputting the answers, and everybody else has to discuss what they think the answer is. They are allowed to search it up, but I try to make it so that the clues are not as easily Googleable. They have to kind of think a little bit more. But some of the stuff, obviously, we haven't covered in our chemistry class, so it is a little bit easier to find via Google. And then sometimes I include like codes and things so that it makes it a little bit easier, a little bit more ambiguous. I would say something like this for the AP kids will probably take no more than like 15 to 20 minutes maximum. And then once they're done, I'll let them get their prizes. And then by then, we'll probably be almost ready to eat ice cream. So right now I am going to put the periodic tables out again for my next class, my next honors class. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to check in with you guys after the honors class and show you how I'm going to set up the room for ice cream. Now it's time to set up. My period 7-8 is going to be coming in today to wash out their t-shirts. So they're going to finish up their tie-dyeing stuff from yesterday. The self-contained class is actually going to be washing the t-shirts for us, so I'm really excited about that. So they're going to come up here and wash the t-shirts for us in their washing machine downstairs and dry them for us. And so that we should get that back by, I would say, like early next week. And then obviously my period 9-10 today during our lab, we're going to make ice cream. So what I'm going to do right now is probably lay out like all of the tablecloths and things like that so that that's ready. I do need to put like all the stuff on the table here in terms of like the toppings and things. So I'm going to start that. Fortunately, I do have period 7-8. Like once all the kids rinse off their t-shirts, I'll have the ability to kind of move through the classroom a little bit easier, but I'm going to set up what I can at least right now. God, I have the next period to set up. I gotta sign off right now. Ah, you scared me! I'm just vlogging. Okay, I'll talk to you later.
Oh, that looks so good! I love it! I love it! Total MsRazz colors. I love it. Looks so good. Look at how good they look! Oh my God! Look at them! Holy crap, that looks so good! Okay, rinse out all the dye. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God! You're like a firework. Look at how cool is that? Oh my God, that looks so good!
All right, the party is done, and this is what we're working with. I definitely have a lot to clean up, but man, it was so much fun. Well, it is right after school. I had a great time. I'm exhausted. Wow, am I exhausted? But the kids had an amazing time. The kids were so good with making the ice cream. The ice cream came out like fantastic. It was nice and thick. If it doesn't churn long enough, sometimes it's a little runny, but it was really good. The kids did a great job making it. Everybody brought in their ingredients, and so it really went off without a hitch. I am so glad that we combined classes, the AP Bio class and the AP Chem class, because they had their friends together. They were all playing games. They helped clean up. There's definitely a lot of things that I need to clean up. I need to like wash up stuff and clean all this stuff up, but they were very surprised to see like the balloons and everything. And it's like, this is a party. This is to celebrate you. And man, their tie-dye t-shirts look incredible. They look so good. Even my lab coat that I did looks so great. I'm really excited. Maybe I'll show you guys on Instagram or something. We actually never got to the escape room because the kids were just like so excited. And then I know the AP Bio teacher does an assignment this time of the year where the kids like paint murals on his walls. It has to be of like biological content, but the kids do some real amazing elaborate things. So some of the kids left to go do that. So we ended up not doing the escape room, but believe it or not, my other class that's making ice cream next week, they are not going to be combining, we're not going to be combining classes because they don't have the same lab period. So it'll just be us. So I imagine I'll do another escape room with them. So even though I like worked on it today and didn't really get a chance to use it with this class, I'll at least be able to use it with them. So right now what I need to do is I need to bust a move and I need to clean up all this stuff. Not bad. I did it. We're pretty much cleaned up. That stuff over there has to dry. That stuff over there has to dry. I do have to clean that bowl still, but it is only 3:30 and we are clean for the most part. Well, that wasn't too bad. I'm glad I'm all cleaned up for the most part. When I come in on Monday, I'll put all that stuff away. I think at this point, I am just gonna get out of here, and I wanna say thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it helpful and fun and maybe give you some inspiration of things that you wanna do with your students. If I were to go back and do this all again, I definitely, again, would not be doing tie-dye one day and then ice cream the next. It's just the way the lab periods fell, but I did it, I pulled it off. The kids were so great. I really could not have done it without them. They were very agreeable and they did a fantastic job cleaning up and helping to make sure that they didn't leave a mess. So that makes it so much easier to do the things that I want to do to make them feel special. So I'm going to get out of here. Happy Friday. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll be sure to check in with you all really soon.